Welcome back to Hope is Not a Strategy. I'm in the studio to talk about systems of measuring and the most common mistake we're going to make with subconsciously correcting our drawings. So, okay. At the GCA, we work in a system of measurement that we call comparative measurements. I doubt it's specific to us, but I like it a lot. Sorry. And it gives me a lot of freedom. If I'm not in the close situation like a still life painter finds themselves, for instance, if I'm in the figure room and the object is too big, it doesn't even fit in my cone of vision, I'm too close to it, or I'm really far away from it and I don't want to make it the size that I see it, meaning just like hold up my measuring stick and pull the vertical or horizontal measurements across, that you're limited in the sight size by how big your object appears to you and where your canvas is. It's a very specific, very limiting way to work. It's quicker if you're used to it, but I don't like it. I've never liked it. And God knows I've tried. I understand it's especially helpful for things like landscape and stuff like that. But the reason I'm here and the trap I want to warn you about is if you set up slightly off sight size and use a different form of measurement. Comparative measurement's the most common, but some people work in a canonized manner, meaning if they're working on the figure, there's like a set number of heads that the figure is, and like the shoulder is 1.5 heads, and you can work that way. That's fine, whatever. Do your thing. But all I'm trying to say is if you set up slightly off sight size, so like right here I'm at sight size, I can pull my measurements across and they'll be the size that I want them to be on my paper. But if I set up like right here, now when I pull my measurements over, or even when I just feel the object, I'm so close to being the same size that I'm going to make some instinctual corrections on my drawing that are not right. I'm going to correct them to the sight size, but I'm not working at that scale. And so that's like a really common mistake people make, and they don't even know why. They don't know why their corrections aren't working out, or they think that there's something wrong with their measuring. It's that you're just too close. So the solution to that would be to actually just set up in sight size. Not work in sight size, but at least set yourself up so that your alligator brain decisions about bigger or smaller are going to be good, helpful decisions. You know, when you're working in measurement, sometimes it doesn't really serve to just go around and measure every little thing to itself. That's what comparative measurement is. I would start with like a half, and then I would set all my other things based on that half, or I could get a slightly smaller measurement and relate everything within the object to another thing within the object and have a corresponding relationship on my paper. Comparative measurement, even in this close of a setup, allows me to say, maybe I don't want the skull to be this big. Maybe I want the skull to just be this big. It's going to be part of a larger painting or something. Comparative measurements would allow me to do that. I would just mark off my general shape of height to width on my paper, take a half, translate that half, and then go. It takes some getting used to for sure, and if you're interested, take my class. We will talk all about blocking in with comparative measurements. By the way, registration opens Tuesday, so that would be, what, May 6th? One moment. Or, sorry, it's April 6th. We're gonna go into a lot more depth than what I'm going into with you now, but the shortness of the course, it's only 4 one-hour lecture demo classes with critiques and homework. The briefness of that amount of information that I have to stuff into a class allows me to bring you helpful little tidbits. So again, oh, I got charcoal on my skull. Just to make my claim, because you got to hear it again in order for it to get into your brain. Work comparatively, but if you're awfully close to sight size, just go ahead and set up in sight size. That way, when your alligator brain says that's too big, and you correct it without taking a measurement to validate your correction, you're not driving yourself away from any kind of accuracy. So I hope somebody out there just went, duh, like I did when Jacob told me this for the first time. So, see you tomorrow.